I heard that.
That's my favorite livestock contract to deal with. We get to spend a lot of time just because that's kind of what I focus on. So we have a clinic every year we host here in our county. We have people. This last year, I think we had state showed up. So certainly that's where I find
celebrate our anniversary, is that and it is the sweetest thing. And when we honor John's contribution to our club, and again, from the youth and the 70s, his son told me they didn't even know. So I got to send him. It's real short, but it is just. I sent one to and of course, he was just jolly happy I relay in the car.
Like the old one is like dead. Everybody bored. No, I got three grandchildren. Five. And the girl, she runs the outdoor.
When he was raising rabbits, I was raising rabbits. So we trade back and forth.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Welcome to 2022, the first meeting of the Rotary Club of Tyler. Is everybody happy? I know I am. Oh, it is just so great to be back. It's good to see everybody. I love the holidays. I love the family time, the lights, all that kind of stuff. But you know, after a while, it's just enough is enough. I'm ready to get back to work, ready to get back to stirring things up and being my old quiet, unobtrusive self, right? But it's good to see everybody. I hope everybody had a great holiday season. And again, it's my pleasure to welcome everybody. Please turn your cell phones to vibrate or just turn them off. And now at this time, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring up Down and Dirty Dixie Walker. Yeah, that's exactly right. Dixie's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the National Anthem.
You will stand and let's celebrate our freedom.
Woo!
Flags over there. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed, and the twilight's last gleaming, with stripes and bright stars, through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, where so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, they through the night, and our flag was there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave.
Say the blessing.
No.
Now, Larry Wickham's going to come up.
It's confused.
Lead us in the invocation. A little bit confused. Confused?
Yes.
Confused? Anybody here confused? It's good to see you all here today. Let's bow together for prayer. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for the beginning of this new year, for the beginning of our new Rotary year, Lord, and we thank you for every opportunity that we know you already have in mind for us as we serve you in the Tyler community. I thank you for every Rotarian, for the many who are here today, and for the spirit of service above self that pervades this group. We thank you for the food and for those that have prepared it for us and served it to us. We thank you so much, Father, for all who are here today, and pray your rich blessings on each and every one. And I ask my prayer today in my Savior's name, in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. It's also my joy to get to welcome you today, and this is, I feel like I've been gone so long personally that some of you may have to tell me who's members and who's guests today. I was quite absent during the last quarter, and I apologize for that, but we've had lots going on. But it's sure good to be back with you today. And I know we have a number of guests in the room. I don't know them all, so I'm gonna begin over here at this table in the back. Anybody have guests over here, or are you all home folks? How about in the middle? How about in the very back? A guest Rotarian.
Yes, Rotary. Tom DeWitt, past district governor and a member of Southside.
A member of Southside and Tyler?
Outside.
All right, well, we thank you for being with us, and we're glad to have you. Hope you'll come back any chance you get. David?
I have the privilege of introducing new title-like guests today, and I want you folks to know that we need to be very, very, very nice to these people. But they chose to come here versus somewhere else like in Tennessee or Florida. And they came from Chicago, outside of Chicago, and so we need to give them a real high welcome. This is Larry and Kathy Levine. So,
Welcome, we're glad to have you with us. And while we're paused at that table, I'd like to ask Ron Wells to stand. Ron is my guest here today. Ron is a longtime minister here in East Texas. He runs Centerpoint Ministries. I'm sure most of you have heard of Centerpoint. You may not know what they do. The focus. It's not the energy company. If your lights go out, don't call Ron. But if your spiritual lights go out, that might be a different thing. He focuses on discipleship for men and boys, and tries to help build men into strong spiritual giants. So appreciate you being here today, Ron. How about at this middle? We're all home folks, and I'll let you introduce the program later, or whoever's going to. You introduce Allison, and he can do that one at a time.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Larry. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're back, Larry. David, you really frightened me earlier when you were saying we need to be really, really nice to these people, because the last time I saw that happen was when some folks moved into town and they joined our church. And a friend of theirs that was already there said, "This is so-and-so and his wife is a teacher, and then Frank is, we need to be really, really nice to them, make them feel welcome, all this kind of stuff, kind of really, really take care of them, make them feel good." And the reason why this fellow says is because the man works for the IRS. I thought you were getting ready to drop that on us there, David. Oh. Okay, back to being serious again here.
Mr. Levine is an attorney.
Oh.
Wow.
Not nice to have you here, sir. Nice to have you. Okay, let me see here. Greeters for the day, David Jones and Denise Miller. Thank you both so very much. Go ahead and stand up and be recognized. Yeah, we all love David. Okay, and now it's time for Rotary birthdays and anniversaries. Let's get the birthdays over with first. January 2nd, Susan Stewart. January 5th, Larry Wickham. He just turned 29 again, right, Larry? Okay. January 4th, this is all over Facebook. Katie Hall. There were pictures of that wild party she had. Oh, jeez. January 6th, Annie Dwyer. Happy birthday, happy birthday. January 11th, Michael Stevens. The 13th, Merwin Pickle. 23rd is Harley McFarland. And now, my friends, it's time for us to sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you. Now that's when this club lets out a collective sigh of relief, because you don't have to listen to Bill Pascal sing for another month. Okay, happy Rotary. Now how's that supposed to make my self-esteem? Happy Rotary anniversary to these Rotarians. January 1st, Chris and Christy Hill. January 3rd, Rochelle Ewart, 1 year. Katie Hall, 1 year. Peter Vasquez, 1 year. January 10th, James Haas, 3 years. January the 14th, Justin Holt, 12 years. Dylan Myrick, 1 year. Yay, Dylan. Kathy Adams, 9 years.
Woo.
Billy Hibbs Jr., 32 years. And Bill and Donna Kroom, 1 year. Congratulations to all. Okay, no this week in history, but we do have another treat. We're going to pass the good news basket. Yes, sir. All right, Jim, are you ready?
I am ready.
Who has the good news?
I want to mention that Baylor Bears won the Sugar
Oh.
Bowl.
Baylor won the Sugar Bowl. I knew you were going to do that. Who else? Holly's got some good news.
I'm just grateful that my kids were able to fly with me to go visit my mom, who's 90, and her health is much better. So things are great on that front, and we have no flight delays or hitches at all.
Woo.
What else? No other good news?
I have good news. Well, you're here, that's part of it.
Yes.
I'm here.
Larry Wickham has good
I'm
news.
happy to report that yesterday, at my place, we were proud recipients of a new, brand new baby.
What was it? Oh, a heifer.
It's a cow, Bill.
I know what a heifer is, okay? Think you're dealing with somebody with no sophistication at all? Don't answer that. What else? Any other good news? Dixie's got good news.
No, I really, believe it or not, I can't think of anything specific, except for the fact I'm really glad to be back.
Yes.
Okay? We're glad to have you back too, Dixie. One more?
I have good news too. My mom made it through a great Christmas. We always say, well, we got to get together because this could be our last. But I'm pretty sure after this past Christmas and how well she's doing right now, she's going to outlive all of us anyway.
I don't doubt that
Very happy.
at all. Your mom, I tell you what, your mom is just, she is so fun to be around.
She's here.
Any other good news? Well, along the lines of pulling calves like you were talking about, I may have mentioned this in the past, but Kim and I now have a brand new baby granddaughter. Come here and hold this so I can reach in my wallet.
Oh, okay. Keep preaching.
Yeah.
Dig deep.
Put some more in there.
Yeah, what we got?
Well, I do have some more money in here, but the ink's still wet. I just printed it this morning. But Leah Marie Lemons was born. Leah Marie Lemons was born the Friday after our last meeting. I think that was December the 18th at 1:30 in the morning. And Taylor and Natalie Lemons are the proud parents, and Kim and I are just absolutely tickled to death. And she's absolutely gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous. And if anybody wants to see a picture, I just might happen to have one. Okay? So any other good news? Other than we're back, we're here, we're together, I think that's just wonderful as well. Okay, with that being done, yes, give yourselves a great big hand. Okay, program for January 13th is Dr. Barbara Bass. She's going to talk about the new medical school coming in at UT Tyler. And now, my friends, it's time to welcome the greatest president, the humble, the distinguished.
Happy New Year, Al.
Thank you. What can I say? Our speaker for today is Skylar Shively. Thank you. I was just getting ready to put some of that back. Thank you. Okay. He grew up in north central Kansas, and he's a graduate of Lindale High School. He's the county extension agent for Smith County, and he serves as a coordinator for 4-H and youth development. He holds a degree in agricultural science and technology from Texas A&M University of Commerce. He was a public school ag teacher, and he served as director of agricultural sciences for 2 school districts, and then decided to leave the classroom as a public educator after a successful run placing livestock projects at the state and national livestock shows. He also worked with students to receive over $100,000 in scholarships, developing a Ford Leadership Scholar and numerous other achievements. Skylar currently works with 4-H clubs in Smith County, and he covers over 40 different project areas. Through curriculum enrichment in public schools, as well as 4-H activities, last year, almost a staggering 30,000 educational contacts were made. Skylar and his wife Morgan both have strong roots in the ag industry and can be found in livestock barns most weekends, conducting auctions, evaluating livestock as judges, or working with youth to further develop their showmanship. And so it's with a great deal of pleasure I present to you Skylar to be our speaker for today.
Certainly appreciate the introduction, and you know, you get a great build-up like that, and it's, now I've got to do something with it, huh? So, certainly appreciate the invitation to be here today and get to share a little bit of information about the 4-H program here in Smith County. But before I get into that, I want to talk about extension for just a minute. For those of you that may not be familiar, Texas A&M Agrilife Extension Service services every county in the state of Texas. So every county has at least one county extension agent. We're blessed here in Smith County. Right now we have 6 different agents that are working in our office that cover a variety of areas. So my primary focus is youth development, so any programs that involve youth, I certainly am involved with those. But we also have a Prairie View agent that deals primarily with minorities. We have a Better Living for Texas agent that deals with economically disadvantaged families on budgeting and being healthy. We have a family community health agent that has similar responsibilities, an ag agent that deals specifically with agriculture production, and a horticulture agent that deals with all of our great horticulture here in Smith County. And so we certainly have a great office, and I think do a fantastic job providing for the needs of the citizens here in Smith County. But as we start, I want to talk about the 4-H program. The 4-H program focuses on youth development. We have over 40 different project areas, so there's a pretty good chance that if you have a student or know of a youth, we probably have something that would work for them. We cover everything from food projects and fashion to raising livestock and public speaking and everything in between. So we certainly encompass a very large spectrum of activities. Things that I do involve curriculum enrichment. We work with all school districts here in Smith County to provide educational opportunities in school. And so you may be wondering, what would this look like? Probably our biggest curriculum enrichment that we offer is the Hatching in the Classroom program. And we see this works mainly with 3rd grade students. That's where it fits in the Texas curriculum. They start learning about the life cycle in 3rd grade. And so what happens is they contact our office, get on our schedule. We provide them with an incubator. We provide fertile eggs. We provide the curriculum. And for 21 days, those students have a lesson every day that they're in school to learn about what happens to produce chickens. And so it's certainly an interesting program. We really enjoy it. We have a lot of schools that work with us every year on that program. And so it's probably our most successful program that we have. We also offer an educational opportunity specifically for teachers. Last year we had over 600 teachers that we trained on hatching in the classroom and that are using our curriculum this year. So we're certainly very excited about that, because we had the opportunity not just to offer it to Smith County teachers, but to train those teachers in other counties as well. So
600 was a great number for us there. I oversee our 4-H program, which includes 6 different clubs and a county council. And so we have clubs spread all across the county. And if a person joins Smith County 4-H and they live in Bullard, there's a club that is in Bullard. But if they enjoy shooting sports, we have a shooting sports club. They can attend that as well. So once you join, you can attend any club in our county. So much like Rotary, where you could attend any Rotary club, not that you'd want to go somewhere else, but you could, right? So, yeah, but should that happen, they could go to any other club that we have in our county. So that's how that works for us. We assist Smith County livestock exhibitors at stock shows. And so I have some numbers I want to share with you about livestock projects and how that affects your economy here in our county. We'll get to that in a little bit. And then youth development and scholarships. Certainly scholarships, I think, are very important. I had the opportunity to go to college and it didn't cost me a dime. I went all on scholarships, and so that has been something that's been very important to me. And we work very hard with our kids that if they want to go to school, whether that's a college or university or trade school or technical program, that we work with those kids to be able to find funding so they can go to school if that's what they desire. So certainly another area that we want to focus on. This is some information that we kind of touched on already, our total contacts. So for Smith County, for the youth development program, we have a whopping staff of 2. That would be myself and my administrative assistant, Miss Aguilar. She's with me today. I have been blessed to have her working with me since 2014. Before we came to Extension, we worked together and kind of came as a pair. It was a package deal. And so together, we had a total educational contact of 32,527 this last year. And so we think that is a great number for us. We really like to brag on that because I think it's important that those kids have that opportunity. And for us, one good thing that we saw come out of the pandemic is being able to offer some programs in a non-traditional setting. So traditionally, we would pick a location and we say, this is where we're having our scholarship workshop. You can show up, it starts at 6 p.m. and we hope to see you there. However, through the pandemic, we found maybe we can offer some of these things virtually or in a hybrid setting where you can come or you can join online. And so by doing that, programs where we would have had maybe 20 or 25 students before, if we could offer that virtually and in a recorded format, we're now seeing that we have maybe 300 or 350 people that are watching it in real time or go back and watch the recording. So certainly something good that has come out of this, and we definitely appreciate one good thing that we've seen come out of the pandemic. The 4-H pledge is very simple, and we teach this to all of our kids. Our clubs recite it every time that they get together. And so I kind of think that it goes to tell the story of what we do in 4-H. The first part says, I pledge my head to clearer thinking. And so some things that we do that involve this thinking would be our public speaking or educational presentations. We offer these contests at the county level as well as district and state. And so our district has 22 different counties in it that surround Smith County. We're lucky enough we get to host the district contest every year. That's what happens, I guess, when they think you have nice places, they let you host things. So that's what we do. We host the district contest, and we certainly enjoy being able to offer that. And then the state contest is in College Station every year. And any kids that advance from district are able to go and participate in the state contest at College Station. We also have entomology and horticulture ID, a photography contest, a photography judging contest. We offer fishing. Our fishing program has blown up. It has been a fantastic thing. We really saw this get large during the pandemic when kids were able to have some time maybe that they were learning remotely. So they had some extra free time on their hands and they were able to fish in our fishing tournament. The fishing tournament, we offered it virtually. You were able to go fish. You submit a picture of your fish on the official Check-It stick that we had donated by one of our great sponsors. And so we were able to give that to them and they were able to fish the tournament. A lot of kids really enjoyed that. And they had some really cool prizes. Shooting sports is a large program that we have here. They meet on the north side of the county. They meet once a month and they get together and get to practice archery, rifle, and shotgun. So definitely a big project as well. Robotics. This is a program that we have a great group of volunteers. I can't take credit for our robotics project. I think that's one that's a little over my head. But they not only build the robots, but they program the robots as well to do specific tasks. There's contests for these. So far, our kids have won almost $20,000 in scholarships through the robotics project. So they have won the Fort Worth Livestock Show Ag Robotics Contest, the San Antonio Livestock Show Ag Robotics Contest, and the Houston Livestock Show Ag Robotics Contest. So they're competing with kids from all across the state. We have a bright group of kiddos that do that, great group of volunteers that work with them, and certainly do a great job. Theater and Performing Arts, this is one of the projects that we also offer. We have some kids that do a great job in that and really enjoy it. So the second part of the motto says, my heart to greater loyalty and my hands to larger service. I think it's very important that we recognize we have to give back to those people that help support our program and those people in our county that also need that support. And so some of the things that our clubs do, every club picks a community service project for every month. And so, you figure we have 6 different clubs and 12 different months, so about 72 community service projects a year. These are just 4 that we wanted to highlight that we traditionally do these every year. The East Texas Food Bank, our kids definitely enjoy getting to go and do something, so this is one where they can go and volunteer. Nicholas Pet Haven, Cindy Nash runs that and does a great job. She's always appreciative of having volunteers, and our kids love getting to go and be with the animals, so certainly a lot of fun there. We ring the bell with the Salvation Army, and then when they offer it, we do the Valentine's cards for KBNE that are distributed to nursing homes. So just 4 different projects that, or community service projects that we're able to do that we really enjoy. The last part is, in my health to better living. So better living is definitely important to the 4-H program about living well and being healthy. And the first one that we have on the list is Learn, Grow, Eat, Go. We have this program in several different public schools here in Smith County, Tyler ISD, ARP ISD, Lindale ISD, Lindale Public Library, and then we're putting one in down at Troop as well. All participate in this program. We're able to provide all of the gardening materials. We provide the raised garden beds. We provide the plants. We provide the curriculum. The kids actually get to go out and plant something, watch it grow, harvest it, and then consume something that they raised. And so by them growing it, they're a lot more likely to try something that they may not traditionally try. When we tell them we're going to have eggplant today, there's a lot of kids that don't get excited about eggplant. But when you have grown that eggplant and it is your eggplant that you grew from a seed, we see a different view on that. So certainly a great program. Learn, Grow, Eat, Go has done a lot of good for us. Our BLT agent and our horticulture agent do a lot of work with our kids in that program. So we certainly appreciate that. We have a food and nutrition project. How many of you ever have watched Chopped or America's Top Baker or any of those? It's very similar to that, or can be. One of the events is the food show, where they bake something or cook something at home, they bring it in, and they show the judges and talk about what they baked. The other one, we have a pantry or store on site at the contest location. They're given a list of ingredients they have to use and a certain amount of time, and they have to prepare a dish on site with their team members. And so a lot of fun. They like to think that it's like the game show, and we see some kids really turn out some cool projects from the Food and Nutrition Project. Lighten Up East Texas. This is, some of you may be familiar with Lighten Up East Texas as far as a state or area-wide weight loss initiative, and we generally participate in this through the Walk Across Texas program, where we log how many miles the kids walk in a day, and certainly they enjoy being able to track that and see what that looks like. And the last one is Path to the Plate. This has been one of our newer initiatives, and it's really come about with the farm to table movement. We talk about knowing where our food comes from, the importance of recognizing where it comes from and how it's produced. This is one that I really have found to be a great program that we're offering with several high schools. We generally offer it at the East Texas State Fair and open it up to any schools that want to come for the school tour. We generally get a little over, about 2,500 kids come through there in 2 days. This year, obviously, we weren't able to have that, but we're looking forward to next year getting back in place to have the Path to the Plate Expo. One thing that we always enjoy about that is we start talking about agriculture. We always have some students that say, well, agriculture doesn't affect me. Well, that's certainly one that I like to look at and say, well, are you wearing clothes? If you're wearing clothes and you eat and you rode here in a vehicle, you're impacted by agriculture. You may not be in agricultural production, but agriculture definitely impacts you. And so certainly something that's important for us to recognize, and that a lot of our students may not recognize, is that agriculture affects everyone in one way or another. Some things we have that are coming up. Academic Rodeo, we partner with East Texas State Fair on several contests at the Academic Rodeo. There are scholarships available to kids that participate in that. There's lots of different contest areas, but our main contest is the Ag Product ID contest. It's open to any of the schools that want to come. There's no cost associated with it. We're able to do that 100% free through sponsorships. The District 4-H Roundup, that's what we call our district contest. We host that here in April. We have a great partnership with Cross Brand Cowboy Church. They close their campus for 3 days, and we use that facility to host our district contest, and we definitely appreciate that partnership. Smith County Youth Expo and Smith County Junior Livestock Show. These are two different opportunities for kids here in our county to exhibit livestock projects and have an opportunity to recoup some of the money that they've spent in those contests. Record books. Record keeping is important. Record keeping is very important. And so that's a skill that every kid that's in 4-H is asked to keep a record book and begin looking at profit and loss. We begin looking at time that goes into those projects, and we set goals at the beginning of the year, and we look back at the end of the year to see, did we achieve those goals, or what do we need to adjust for the coming year? So certainly record keeping is very important. This is a great way we can start to teach those principles. We host an awards banquet every year to recognize all of our members, all of our adult volunteers, all of our partners that work with us throughout the year. So we generally have that awards banquet in the summer before our college kids get off and leave us for the year, but after we've had our state contest in July. So now this is going to be fuzzy, but we'll see if we can see it. There we go. So these are some numbers. Earlier I said there's some information about livestock projects I want to share with you. So we state validate every livestock project in our county that's going to be exhibited, which means we put in an ear tag, we pull DNA, there's a whole process we go through so we know how many projects we have, and we make sure we have the same projects at the end of the year. So we have a good number of how many we have. Cattle, we have about 104. That's steers and heifers combined. Sheep, 59. Goats, 21. Swine, 194. We don't raise any turkey projects. We have 28 pens of chickens, so 28 times 50. Rabbits, we have about 57. And then we have figured, or the economist down at A&M has figured, an average cost per head on those projects. How much does it cost to raise a heifer or a steer or a pen of rabbits? And so why would that be important on what the average cost is? Well, it gives us a good idea of how much money goes back into our community spent from those projects. So that includes the purchase price as well as the money that would be spent on veterinary care, feed, forage, things of that nature. So our estimate or average is $1,033,317 comes into the Smith County economy from our livestock projects that our youth have every year. So that certainly is a large number. Some of you, if you're business people, may have received an invitation to the Smith County Junior Livestock Show or the Smith County Youth Expo from one of our youth members, and they may have invited you to come out. They may have talked about a tax write-off if you came out and supported them at the show. And you know, when we see those things, it's real easy for us to slide it aside. But I do encourage you to keep in mind, those kids are putting back over $1,033,000 into our Smith County economy. So certainly like to see that. There's our statewide dollars. A little over, almost 108 million is what's spent statewide on livestock. Those were our upcoming events, the Smith County Youth Expo. That'll be February 9th through the 11th over at Bullard, at the Bullard High School. It's a show that's open to anybody in Smith County, whether it's 4-H or FFA, they're certainly invited to come. And then the Smith County Junior Livestock Show, which is the 30th, 31st, and April 1st. March 30th, 31st, and April 1st. So those are kind of the things that we have coming up, the things that we're looking forward to. Our kids, I think, do a tremendous job on putting together their projects, not just livestock, but also our home economics projects and those things, and they'd love to see you. So even if you can't come out and support them at the sale, they would love to see you come out and just look at their project or talk to them about what they've done this year in those projects. So if you need more information, I certainly would be glad to give that to you. Some things I want to leave you with. If you're on social media, certainly go online and find Smith County 4-H, Smith County, the number 4-H, and like our page, because we put things up about what our kids are doing, and we'd love for you to be able to share that with other people in our community. That's how we get the word out about what's going on and what's coming up. And also, you can go to our website on the internet at smith.agrilife.org, and there's an option there in a big yellow box. If you want to sign up for any of our newsletters, we send out a horticulture newsletter, an ag newsletter, a youth newsletter. We have a home economics newsletter called Stuff and Such that the ladies in the office do a great job putting that one together. But we'd love for you to join one of our email lists. Yeah, certainly see the things we're offering. And the great thing about that is if you join it and decide in a month from now, hey, it's not for you, there's an unsubscribe button and you can get off at any time. So we'd love for you to join us, get some information, and certainly if you have any questions down the road, feel free to reach out to us.
We got time for questions now.
Okay, wonderful.
I have a question. Is 4-H program available to homeschoolers, to private schools, and are there 4-H clubs in other states?
Great questions. Yes, they are available in other states. They run through the land grant universities, and every state has a land grant university. So yes, certainly available to kids elsewhere. And then as far as homeschool, probably the majority of our kids that are involved in 4-H are homeschool kids. We have a club that is mainly homeschool students. They meet during the week in the middle of the day. So it just isn't an opportune time for kids that are in public school, but it works great for those homeschool kids to be able to get involved in a project, have some time with other students their age that maybe they wouldn't traditionally get that time. But yeah, that's a great question.
How are you funded?
How are we funded? Wonderful question again. So extension is going to be a 3-part funding mechanism. We receive a small amount of federal dollars through the United States Department of Agriculture. We receive money through the land grant university, Texas A&M University. And lastly, we receive funding from Smith County Commissioner's Court, as well as our office space. They provide that office space for us. So certainly next time you see your county commissioners or county judge, tell them, hey, we saw that 4-H guy and he appreciates having an office.
On that Robotics, what kind of projects do they do? I mean, that just, how do those two meld?
On Robotics, what kind of projects do they do is her question. And so what they do is they're provided a scenario and a board that may have a layout of a farm or an orchard or a factory. And they'll say, okay, we have trees that are growing here, and they drop these 1-inch square cubes. We need a robot that's going to take care of collecting those cubes, not knocking over the trees, and it needs to be able to drop all those over here in this bin. And that's where we see some of that come into place. What could we do to automate the farming system to be able to work with robotics? So that's kind of what they're looking at there. But that's a good question. And I always think of milking parlors. If you're familiar with the dairy industry, they have that automated now to where the cows go in at a certain time because they know that's when they're supposed to go. It automatically reads their tag when they walk up. It provides the right amount of feed. It provides the right amount of grain. And it's going to log how much milk that cow gives. It's going to drop the claw off on its own. It's going to spray her with some cleaner and turn her out. So it's almost a completely automated system. They say those big farms that have several thousand cows, on average, they're going out to fetch by hand about 10 cows a day. And that's all they have to go get. So certainly a good question.
At what age?
At what age? So official 4-H members can join when they are 3rd grade and 9 years old. If they're younger than that, we have a program called Clover Kids. It's free. There is no cost for those kids that are younger than that. And so they're able to join and participate in some of the projects that don't have a lot of risk involved, if that makes sense. So we certainly offer some things specific to Clover Kids, like poster contest where they get to decorate a poster in one of our pathways and put that on display.
Skylar, thank you very much. Excellent program.
Thank you.
A lot of you guys don't know this, but Kim's first husband was a fellow named Tracy Lemons, and he taught ag out in Brownsboro. And Tracy and I were acquainted. He was just a swell guy. But Kim will tell you that, the stuff that 4-H does, the ag programs at the schools, it really gives these kids, just kind of helps them round out their life. I guess that's the way I'm trying to put it. Skylar, let me go ahead and give this to you. If I can get it here. What we're going to do is we're going to donate a book in your name to the Literacy Council.
Thank you.
And again, we really appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you.
Okay? All right, and Jim, how much did we raise today in the good news basket?
Today, I don't know,
You don't know?
but we have raised on this stack of cards, $1,225.
$1,225,
And we
okay,
have 37 cards left.
okay.
Yeah.
Scott, we're gonna get you to draw one of these tickets here.
And then just read the last 3 digits.
591.
591, who has that? Okay.
I know. Still an opportunity.
Okay, draw that card. Can she do it?
Oh, 2 of hearts.
2 of hearts, 2 of hearts.
Oh, by the way, we $83 in the good news basket.
$83? Then does that include your cut or not?
No, that didn't, I already took mine out.
Okay. Just wanted to clear that up for everybody. All right, folks, anything else before we dismiss? Again, I'm very, very happy to be back. It's good to see all you guys again. And at this time, I'd like to ask everybody to stand as we recite the 4-way test of the things that we think, say, or do. First.
Is it true?
Second.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Third.
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Fourth.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And we are dismissed.